smartphones.
So that's Dave Lee there, giving us the very latest on this ongoing story. Let's introduce to you Cornelia Meyer, who is Chief Executive of MRL Corporation, a business consultancy, and a regular here on The Briefing.
Good
Lovely
morning.
to see you, Cornelia. So this story has been rumbling on for many, many weeks, but now we're seeing what the US action means in very practical terms, in terms of Google's provision to Huawei smartphone users around the world.
Absolutely. I mean, this is pretty devastating for Huawei smartphone users and for Huawei, but it's also quite devastating for Intel and Qualcomm, who deliver, I think one of them actually has 10% of its chips go to Huawei. So you know, and 50% for many of these chips, of these chip makers go to China. So you've seen actually the share price on Friday of Intel, Qualcomm and so on come down significantly. So this is not just hurting Huawei, this is also hurting some of the US chip makers.
I mean, as Dave explained in that report from San Francisco, in terms of Huawei smartphone users right now, it doesn't impact them now, it will impact them in the future if this is not sorted out in the meantime. But in terms of Huawei itself, it's already been looking at its plan B. It's been looking ahead in terms of its relationship with the likes of Google and other American companies, and the fact that it may not be able to continue with that relationship in the future. So they've been coming up with their option B or plan B, as it were.
Yeah, absolutely. And as early as January, they've started doing their own chips. You know, they've done their own chips, because it's not just, you know, what we feel, can you load Google? It's also, can you produce the smartphone? Because, you know, these supply chains are so interconnected. So they have absolutely been looking, and one of the tech analysts said, in the short run, this is clearly very bad for Huawei. In the medium term, it may also not be that good for Google, because, you know, they will come up with alternative ways of connecting, so that may actually break. Google has a strong lock on global communications, so that may actually that may in the medium term also sort of dent Google's omnipresence.
Absolutely. Well, we'll keep a very close eye on how this develops. Thank you for now. Cornelia is back a little later. We have our news briefing.